and welcome to
Plants and Stuff,
where
101.
Yes, basic, where we teach you stuff about plants. Now, let's start first with the plant cell. Like most eukaryotic cells, they have a membrane and a nucleus. But unlike animal cells, plant cells have a cell wall, which is made out of cellulose. And I'm going to be showing you how to make a delicious treat for you and all your plant friends. We are going to be making compost. Okay? Most people use like big giant bins, but for this demonstration we're just going to be using a tiny cup. As you can see, there are holes in it. These are to let air through, and these are very important because you don't want it to stagnate and the bacteria get too numerous and it just stinks and just like, ooh, you don't want that. So first we need carbon. Now carbon can come in the form of newspaper clippings. You want to get the newspaper clippings with soy ink. Avoid ones with color because there's chemicals in it and you don't want that. Put that in there. You also want organic carbon material like these right here. Dead brown leaves are high in carbon. Just push them in there. Now special back, and some here I got tea. Tea, this is tea right here, is really good for compost piles. So put some of that in there. You also want eggshells. Eggshells are high in calcium. Calcium is good for plants because plants actually use calcium to make their cell walls strong. So they need calcium for strong bones, just like using bananas. Now bananas are a high source of potassium. The peel, this, actually has more potassium than the pulp itself. That's the fruit you guys eat. Now, potassium is good because not only does the plant use it in production of sugars and proteins, but it also uses the potassium in the opening and closing of the stoma. And the stoma is what's on the leaf that allows it to breathe. Just keep putting those in. And you also need bacteria and other microorganisms. Very important. These guys, and then you do a peach, one more. And most importantly, you need water. You don't want it drenched, you want it wet, like moist. Just put some of that in there. And that's all you need. Now you just set this outside, let nature take its course, and you'll have compost. Now, movie magic. This is the bacteria and the microorganisms will break down that compost to have this rich soil that'll be a delicious treat for you and all your plant friends.
Hello and welcome to Edu La Flor. I'm your host, Ormon, and today we have a lovely variety of chemical substances for all of your growing needs. First off, we have this majestic bottle of auxin, discovered by Charles Darwin. This auxin can help with all of your growing needs, as it helps stimulate the elongation of cells, as well as stimulate cytokinesis within those cells. It also helps stimulate the growth of flowering parts. Smells like 4D. Next up, we have this lovely bottle of ethylene. Ethylene helps stimulate fruit and leaf abscission, which makes the fruits and leaves fall off, because you don't want to keep them forever, do you? It can also help with fruit ripening and flower opening. Lastly, we have this exquisite bottle of cytokinin. Cytokinin can help with cell division, which makes leaves larger due to cell enlargement. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope these products help with all of your growing needs.
I know what you are. You only have one cotyledon. You don't even have a vascular cambion or a cork cambion. You have parallel venation. You're
Science!
a monocot! most people use like big giant bins, but for this demonstration, we're just going to be using a tiny cup. As you can see, there are holes in it. These are to let air through, and these are very important because you don't want it to stagnate and the bacteria get too numerous and it just stinks and just like, ooh, you don't want that. So, put that there. First, you want carbon. Now, you can get carbon in the form of newspaper clippings, but I would suggest getting ones with soy ink because they're the best kind you can get. Just fold that up and put that in there. Also, you can look for organic materials.